Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another Monty and Mazza Diet Podcast with me, Monty Man, and my co-host, Mazza McBob.
Yellow.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Jolly good. Happy New Year to you, Maz.
Thank you. Merry New Year to you too.
And Happy New Year to everybody in chat. It's good to be back in 2021, which is going to be so much better than 2020.
That's what people kept saying. I was like, oh no, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
But it will be better towards the latter half of this year, but not so much right now.
It's not really started off the way we really wanted, has it really?
Nah, not ideal.
No.
Well, I suppose it's a case of ideal for what? To be fair, for my diet, that's pretty good. The less places I go, the less temptation I have, the more controlled environment I am in, the easier it is to diet. So always look for the silver lining. That's what I say.
Yes. And good evening and Happy New Year to everybody in chat. And so far today we've got the D-Bot. The D-Bot is here. Happy New Year. Lindy Hop, My Wrench, Smiler Rainbow, and Stu Plum. Good evening and welcome to the show. So
welcome all.
Welcome one and all. So normal sort of show for you tonight. We're going to be discussing Mazza's menu, stats. We're going to be assessing the damage of Christmas, talking about the stats and what the collateral damage is. Going through Mazza's menu, and then on to the feature this evening is talking about our New Year's resolutions and what we're going to do to put right what once went wrong. Yes.
So if you have any New Year's resolutions, post them in the chat, because later on we'll be looking at, the most common New Year's resolutions. So it'll be interesting to see if any of yours match the most common according to, is it Worldwide Survey? I'm not sure.
It was, yeah. We got a survey. Let us know. Let us know what, if you've got any New Year's resolutions, or if you're not doing any New Year's resolutions. Let us know about that as well and why. New Year's resolutions not for everyone. I didn't have one last year, but I've come up with a couple for this evening, and we'll see how long it lasts.
For this evening, like not for the new year, but for this evening.
New resolution for this
evening. You've done it for the show.
Well, my first one was to not mess up the beginning of the show and show you plucking your eyebrows, and I succeeded in that one. Nice. That worked. Yeah. So yeah. Hiya, Karen. Welcome on board. Good to have you here. Yes. So, rocking straight into the stats section. Maz, what's the damage?
So, I think last we talked, I had gained something like 4.5 pounds, I think, for the first sort of 3 weeks that I hadn't really been doing it in the early part of December. And I've gained another 3 pounds over sort of Christmas. So I basically went from being like a 25 point whatever pound loss down to an 18 point pound loss. So about 7 pounds I gained over 5 weeks. But that wasn't eating normally. That's not like a weight gain I would have on a normal eating month. That was literally, I was eating cakes and biscuits and crisps and, just anything and everything. We got all these Christmas snacks. I had, some hampers that were sent from work. There was lots of alcohol. And then there was Christmas itself with, sort of pastries and whatever, meats, turkeys, hams. So that was a 7 pound gain over 5 weeks, which was pretty bad. And since Friday, so since the new year, I've lost 2.3 pounds. So I was hoping for more, to be fair, but at least I'm kind of undoing the damage now. So 2.3 loss so far this year, 20.5 loss in total.
Well, that's you've even given us a good news story even from the beginning. I mean, that's something, isn't it? I will tell you, just to let you know, your camera, for whatever reason, is freezing periodically. Oh. I don't know why. It does. It's just, maybe it's a bandwidth thing. But on the bright, oh look, you paused like that, like that. Ooh.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, on my phone.
I don't know why, but luckily the audio's fine. You're not freezing out audio wise, so I don't know why it's happening, but it is. Just let you know.
I don't know. Ludacris is also on a web chat thingy.
Right.
I could switch to my phone. I don't know if I can do that midstream, but I could try that.
You could try that, but. I say the audio's working, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But anyway, congratulations. That's not too bad overall with the loss already, a few pound loss already this year. I mean, that's we're only on just under a week in, so that's pretty damn good.
I've still got £5 to make up basically to get back to where I was.
Yeah.
So I should have that in the next 2 weeks, I guess.
Well, I only started today with my first weigh in, so. I've only got the damage. I honestly, I can't remember. I didn't review where I was at before. I could have looked back at the last live stream and worked out what I was at. But I'm up to 20 stone 4 pounds. So I've only lost now, whatever it is, 10 pounds.
Since we started our podcasts.
Yeah, since we started, and I was down to about 1.5 stone down, so I think I've put on about
£10.
£10, yeah. But it's not gone up to where it was. So,
well, this is it. I mean, this is part of it. It's like, people say like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but no, this is like 4 steps forward and 1 step back. If you make another 4 steps forward and 1 step back, then you're still making progress. So that's all kinds of good.
Yeah, but at least I know my new benchmark where I'm starting from again now, and so that's where we're at. Yes, right. So. All right. We'll come to their. I won't read out their. That people are posting their New Year's resolutions already. I will come back to that in chat.
We'll review that
in a bit. So don't worry. Don't think we haven't noticed or forgotten. We will come back. We'll come back to your messages in chat in a bit. But we're moving on to Maz's menu. Let's see how you. Oh, we don't want the music. There we go. And bring chat back before Smiler tells me off.
Okay, I just switched to my phone. I don't know if that would be any better. Can you still hear me, I presume?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I think we might have a small lag now, but anyway, week 1, day 1. Yeah, we had a bit of a strange New Year's Eve. So we ordered some food around 6 o'clock. And it was my last day of being naughty with food. And then Chris got a shout with the fire service, went off and came back about midnight. So I spent 5 or 6 hours on my own on New Year's Eve. The food didn't turn up for 3 hours. It was like an hour and a half later than they said they'd deliver it. And by the time it turned up at like near 9 o'clock at night, I'd already had to snack on something else because I was so hungry. So I didn't eat some of it. So then the next day, Chris ended up eating his, and I had a couple of chicken fillets left over. So, wasn't the best diet day start. But, still, I made sure that having a low calorie dinner meant I could have my chicken mini fillets for lunch and breakfast. So that was a weird start, but there you go. At least kept within the calorie count.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive you managed to stay within the calorie count with that doesn't look like it should be, should it?
No, that's it. That's 4 mini fillets. If you go by the sort of Kentucky Fried Chicken mini fillets, it's 275 for three. So I just put that down as four because that's four. It wasn't from Kentucky, but I'm sure it's probably similar-ish.
Yep, I know the screen's gone black. One moment. I mean, no, there we go. That's better. There we go.
So this is one that was just kind of a normal day, but actually no, there's two things to mention here. So one is a few of you that know me well have had this house black dal that I've been making, and it's amazing, to be fair, but it does take 6 hours to make. So I decided to take some red lentils instead of black lentils, but use the same kind of spices and pastes, and make this masoor dal, which isn't as good as the black dal, but it's still pretty tasty and only takes half an hour to make. So that's what I have for lunch this day. And in the evening, this is one that I want to sort of mention specifically, and it recurs again in a couple of days' time. But I saw online somewhere, I was thinking, what can I do? I've got some baza fillets. I quite like baza. It's a very neutral sort of flavored fish, just light, like a cod or that. And I thought, what can I do with it? And I saw somewhere, and it had baza fillet and pea salsa. And basically it had peas just with some flavoring. You just kind of cook the peas up and flavor them somehow. So in this case, I did it with a bit of tomato puree and garlic puree and whole grain mustard. It kind of ended up tasting a bit like a marinara sauce, like slightly pizza saucy.
Right, yeah.
And had it with 2 baza fillets, and it was really yummy, and pretty low calorie and super quick to make as well.
Is that
So
just
that was-
Governor Garden peas then?
Yeah, just bag of frozen peas. They're like 55p from Tesco for nearly a kilo. And there was only 150 grams there. So that's about 9 pence worth of peas and 2 baza fillets. And because you're having 2 fish fillets, it feels quite sort of luxurious in a way. Like you're having a lot of protein there. So it's quite filling. So yeah, that's a big recommend. And you can make it whatever flavor you want. I mean, you see in a couple of days' time, I'd go for a different flavor.
Here we go. And then next day 3.
Yeah, so for the next 3 days, one of the things I wanted to point out is sometimes if you do conserve your calories well enough, you can actually have 4 meals a day. So I think I probably
Get
went
outta
over.
here.
I think I
4
went
meals.
over by about 50 calories here, but I'd had breakfast, I had the lunch, and then this was on a Sunday, and basically I'd made some green tomato chutney the day before, and I was just dying to test it out. So when the groceries came and I had some fins and some ham, I really wanted to try it with the chutney, so I couldn't resist it. But actually, because I had like 150 calories spare, I could do that and only go over by like 40-50 calories. So I treated myself to an extra snack. Not much else to say on that. It's just masoor dal again and meatballs that you've seen many times before.
With the egg on toast that you had over the last 2 days, is that just normal bread or is that special?
That's actually like what do you call them? Petit pans? Like dinner rolls, those little.
Yeah.
We buy them par bakes sometimes from Booker's. We'd had a particular set that were nearly out of date, and Ludacris sort of cooked a load of them up and had to freeze some of them. And we took some out of the freezer because we had no other bread. So it was just one of those little petit pans split open with a little bit of low-fat mayo and then the egg on top with salt and pepper.
Yeah, I do love a petit pan.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's something like 110, 120 calories. It's pretty comparable to a Warburton's thin bagel that I normally have. And actually, you see there, that's the Warburton's sandwich thin, which I'm not as keen on. But unfortunately, I ordered 3 packs of Warburton's thin bagels, and Tesco gave me 1 pack of Warburton's thin sandwich thingies. So we're nearly out of bread now. And
We have many packs of thin bagels if you want any packs.
Oh,
of
do
thin
you?
bagels.
Oh, excellent.
We
Yeah.
have quite a
Chris is going to
few.
go on a mission tomorrow to find some, but he'll come to you if he can't
Yeah,
find
if you can't
any.
find any, pop by our front door and I'll throw some in.
Oh, excellent.
Sorry, I shouldn't say petit pan. I should say petit pawn, Karen. Sorry, it's a pawn, not pan. She takes the mick out of how I pronounce my A's. So
is it too Jana for her?
yeah, I'm like, oh look, it's a llama, and she's like, it's a llama.
It's a llama.
It's a llama. I'm like, sorry, it's a llama. Llama, it's a llama. Anyway, the next
be
picture.
Proud of your
Be proud.
Your heritage.
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah, she loves it. I like pasty. Right. The next.
I love pasty.
Yeah, pasty.
Pasty doesn't sound right.
Pasty, no, it doesn't. It's just not the same. So the next picture I've got is odd one out. Is that the one you want next, or should I go on to day 4?
Day 4, I guess. Yeah.
Day 4. Right. Okay.
So this one, so that has for dinner the fish again with the peas. I presented it slightly differently this time, so you can actually see how much fish there is rather than putting the peas on top of the fish. I did it the other way around. But this time I just did the peas in some garlic puree and mint sauce, and I did a little bit less peas. I had to, because I had some chocolates, which was a bit of a treat. I had to have 130 grams of peas instead of 150. But that's kind of the useful thing of using frozen peas is you can, according to how much calories you've got, you can kind of adjust it. But basically what happened was I was planning to have quite a low calorie day, and I knew I had about 100 odd calories spare. So I had worked into it a 20 to 30 pistachio treat. And then Ludacris opened a box of Ferrero Rocher. So I looked up how much calories there were, 75. So I had one. And then about half an hour later, he opened up a second box of Ferrero Rocher. So I had another one and sacrificed some peas to fit that in. So a terrible treat, would have been nuts, which it should have been. But the reason why I was able to do that was because of the crazy low lunch as well. So on that lunch one there, it's the one in the top right-hand corner. That's 5 crackers with cheese. Each one has different chutneys and some sweet pickled gherkins and cherry tomatoes on top. And for those 5 cheesy crackers loaded full is 182 calories, which I just think is bonkers low. And the reason why, I was looking online for some sort of 100-calorie snacks, which is where I came up with the idea of the pistachios. But whilst doing that, I found that you can have 3, they're called table water crackers, I think.
Yeah.
And they are so incredibly low calories. You can have like 3 of those with cheese on for less than 100 calories. I mean, obviously I've got 5 there and a bunch of other stuff, including chutney. But as a snack, like having 3 kind of crackers and cheese, that's quite a crazy nice snack to have. So yeah, I ended up buying some, and actually the Tesco crackers are 22 calories each. The Cars ones, which are the more expensive ones, they're 14 crackers each.
14 crackers each?
14.
14 crackers a
14 calories. 14 calories each. So so it's because I had such a low calorie breakfast and lunch. That's why I was able to have 2 chocolates. Yay.
Oh, is that the ones I don't like? Is it, Smiler? Is that the ones I always leave?
I see.
I can grow to
You
like
should try
them.
the Cars ones though, because they're really flaky. Like they're really crispy and flaky. I think the ones that I've had before are a little bit like, they just don't have the right texture for a cracker, but the Cars ones are actually really nice. They're almost like flaky pastry.
Yeah, they're just a bit too soft and spongy for me. I'm like, I need a snap, you know. And it's just...
Yeah, if you get the Cars ones, you might actually find them a bit better. But yeah, it seemed like they're old. Yeah, I've had ones before that, and I think it's you do pay more for them, but they're less calories and they've got a nice flakiness to them.
Which make was that again? Cars,
anyway.
Did you say?
Cars, yes, table water biscuits.
Right.
They're lower in calories and they're much better texture than the Tesco ones. I think that was that it? Oh no, there's one more day. There's probably nothing interesting on the next day.
Yeah, there is one more day. This one here. Another 4-meal day.
So that's another 4-meal day. The usual cinnamon oats, avocado toast. And I think because, I had just like the Thai curry without any, it's got so much veg in it, you don't need extra veg, and that's only a 200-calorie dinner. So yeah, I was able to fit another little ham sandwich in. Cheeky though it is. And also, I've done the Thai green curry many times, but I thought I'd try the red Thai curry paste this time. It's actually less calories, no idea why, and has a very similar flavor profile, but isn't quite as spicy. I actually think I like it more. I think Ludacris prefers the green, but it's really delicious. So yeah, highly recommend that as well.
Cool.
And that was it really for the diet stuff, for the menu. There was just one other picture, which I think we did an episode about maybe 8 weeks ago about kind of portionizing and batch cooking and pickling and stuff like that. And I did a bunch of that sort of, I don't know, from about the 30th of December to about the 2nd of January. I don't know if you want to bring that picture up. It's the other montage one.
This one here.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So, at the top left is the cheese, sort of leftover cheese from Christmas. So I've chopped that up into pieces. They're around sort of 20 to 25 grams each. And one of those little cubes on the right are what I have used with those table water biscuits. And there's Luda in the background saying hi. And then there's Stilton in the middle, and there's a different type of cheese on the left. And the Stilton, even before I started the diet in the new year, just having that as like a snack, it's only about 100 calories. And it's so strong, and I love Stilton. I know not everybody loves it, but it's so strong. I eat it with a tiny little fork and just have like little pieces of it, and it's absolutely delicious. I've forgotten how much I love Stilton. Then there's the red dal in the top right. In the middle left, we've got a batch of 8 portions of meatballs, which are only 200 odd calories each, and risottos, which are more for Ludacris. Bottom left are the Thai red curries. So I made a batch of 6. I've frozen 3. We've eaten 3 in the last few days. And then at the bottom right is the green tomato chutney, which has actually freed up some space in my freezer. I had some bags of green tomatoes. So I'm able to put more of these batch cooking in the freezer. So yeah.
Nice.
And that's kind of set me up well for the new year.
Where's the batch making gin picture? That's what I don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't send you that one, but yeah, I'm making a whole batch of gins as well. I had gin making kits last Christmas that I forgot to use, and then I had ones this Christmas. So I've got an array of 6 different flavored gins on the side in the kitchen at the moment that I'm making. It's I've got a roasted pineapple one. Thanks Dbot for that recipe. I've got some general spice ones. I've got like a floral one with lavender and hibiscus. I've got a citrus and pepper one. And I've got one where I'm trying to replicate Bothy Gunshot. So I've put some brown sugar, some cinnamon sticks, some vanilla pods, and some ground ginger in there. And I tell you that I dipped my finger in it yesterday. It's tasting really good. It's a teeny little bottle that I've made, but I've got visions of making much bigger bottles because it does taste good.
Nice. Nicey nice. Right. Blah, blah, blah. Bit of that. Doing this. That. Here we go. We're back. Right. Update from Karen. Sorry, while you were going through the menu there, Karen gave us an update. Overall loss was £12.5 before Christmas, but she put on 4.4 over Christmas. But since the 1st of January, she's lost more again, and she's now at £13.2.
That's crazy. She must have lost like £5 since 1st of January. See, I was hoping for that kind of a loss, like similar to my first week when I started. But 2.3 or whatever, it wasn't quite as high as I was hoping, but that's bonkers good. Well done, Karen.
Yeah, well done. That's fantastic result. And I know from talking to Karen, she's got a slightly better way of doing it this time for her, because she's gone vegan and whatnot. She's taking some supplements to make sure she gets all the range of proteins and vitamins and everything, or whatever she needs to keep herself healthy and not get tired.
And they suggest doing more sort of towards 900 or 1,000 calories to make sure that you're getting enough protein. So yeah, that sounds like a better balance.
Yeah. So yes, good luck with you on that one.
And Stuplum says that since Sunday he's lost half a pound.
Oh,
That's only a couple of days, so that's not too bad.
well done. Yeah, very good. Well done. Yeah, we're all in it. We're all in it for this year. So yeah, you didn't tell us your New Year's resolutions though, Stu.
Oh, and Lindy Hop's lost £1.
Oh wow, there you go. We're all
Nicely
losing.
done.
Well, that's that's a good amount between us all. We've lost there already in the first week, apart from me.
Certainly.
But, yes. No feeling bad.
Yeah, well, think our next podcast in 2 weeks. Think of what a loss you'll have then.
That'll be amazing. Yes, D-Bot, if you're there, you haven't given us your New Year's resolution yet, I don't think. And if you're having one, if you haven't,
Might
let us
not
know.
have
Let
any.
us know. Stu Plum, Smiler, did you? Oh yes, Smiler's mentioned one. Okay, so we've got some coming in. So, yes, Karen, did you give us a New Year's resolution? Don't know. Give us New Year's resolutions out there. No resolutions for D-Bot. Fair enough. So. First up, we got this article I found.
I just saw Karen's comment about loving our accents. It makes her feel like she's abroad.
I know.
Look, we don't sound that strange. It's not that strange.
We're not
Anyway.
we're not even the other side of the Tamar River, which that's abroad.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Anywho. Onwards.
All right, there we go. So there's this article in Inc. So a study of 800 million activities predicts most New Year's resolutions will be abandoned on or by January the 19th. So.
Well, do you know, our next podcast in 2 weeks' time, that'll be the 20th, won't it? Yes, it will be. So it will be really great to check in with everybody on the 20th to see how many of ours have been abandoned by then and whether we've stuck to this potential trend.
Yeah, so, according to the study, January the 19th is the day that we'll all give up. So by the time we come back to the next podcast, we'll have all forgotten about this. So we're gonna buck that trend. We're gonna prove that these people know nothing.
You'll all try and forget about it, but we will drag you kicking and screaming into not forgetting about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably did. Smiler says all teachers abandoned dry January. That didn't happen.
Yeah, my colleague said the same thing. When the new lockdown announcement came, they were like, right, there goes dry January, I'm getting a wine.
Yeah. So what they're saying here, they're saying, they can range from something that's easily achievable to huge life-changing goals. But approximately 80% of people who make New Year's resolutions drop them by the second week in February. So,
I thought it was something like in February. I was surprised by the 19th of January.
Yeah. However, many don't make nearly that long. Research conducted by Strava using 800 million user-logged activities in 2019 predicts the day most people are likely to give up on their New Year's resolutions is January the 19th, which Strava have called Quitter's Day. So January the 19th is forever known as Quitter's Day. Yeah. And I guess it depends what you make your goals. If you're going to make them quite unrealistic things or things that make day-to-day living quite difficult, then it's easy to give it up, isn't it? So based on that, I thought I'd have a look at this website, whoever these people are, and they come up with the top 10 New Year's resolutions of 2020. So according to this, this is the things that people are most likely to pick last year, and they're not surprising. This is most obvious list of New Year's resolutions I've ever seen in my entire life. So at number 1, we've got walk more, which has been quite popular over the last couple of years, hasn't it? Trying to walk more.
I suppose with the rise of wearable tech.
Wearable tech. So yeah, that's that at the beginning of last year was big. Losing weight, which always comes at the top of the list. People getting into shape. Travel. So going on a life adventure.
That'll be much of a resolution for people this year.
I think that's probably, but maybe that will come back once these bans and things are lifted. Quit smoking's still a big one. But you don't really see that many people smoking these days, do you?
No.
Volunteering. I was surprised to see that one as a New Year's resolution, but that's a good New Year's resolution, I think. Finding a good cause and doing something just for the goodness of doing it. Lift your heads from the screens. That's probably going to be more important this year than ever before, because we're stuck inside staring at our screens. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be watching YouTube channels and podcasts and live streams. Please still watch them, because they're good value entertainment. But yes, I think it's more around they're talking about the smartphones there, aren't they? Save money. So try to be more thrifty and not waste your money. And use less plastic.
That's another good one.
So I think that, as I said there, Greta Thunberg and activists like that have made people think about how you're living their lives and what impacts you're making on the planet. And people at this time of year decide they want to do something about that. I, for one, do not use a straw in McDonald's anymore. So I'm doing my bit. That was a joke. That was a McDonald's joke. Take up a new hobby. So, try to branch out and try new activities and eating your greens. So I suppose making sure you have your 5 fruit and vegetables a day, or, getting those vegetables in. You don't have to go fully vegan or fully vegetarian, it says, but try to go a week without meat. So there you go. So I wonder how those match up against the things we've chosen for our New Year's resolutions this year.
Interesting.
Before you go through yours, Mash, shall I see what our people in chat have?
Yeah.
So first up, Lindy Hop. She's not got one resolution. Lindy Hop's gone for a plethora of resolutions this year.
As have I.
Oh, have you?
So photography, that could count as learning a new skill against that list.
Well, yes. Learning photography and French.
I don't think that's a new skill for Lindy Hop. She already knows quite a lot. It's about becoming more competent with it, I guess, and refreshing that skill.
Not that she's going to have any opportunity to actually use it, or whether we'd actually be allowed back into Europe.
But it's Ludacris's mum's first language, so we can try and converse with her. So that's how we might be able to practice that. And then, what was it?
Cooking from scratch.
Cooking.
I would have thought
so
Lindy
created
Hop
like a meal plan for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Cool.
She got bored of cooking last year, but yeah, it's all coming back. Losing weight and surviving the lockdown with a smile.
Yeah. We're all going to try that one out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And smile, I like the with a smile.
Yeah.
She's about smiles. Yeah, those are pretty good ones. And some of them we were of the like that we saw in the top 10 list of good good New Year's resolutions. I'm just trying to find the next one. Smiler said that her New Year's resolution was to make more time for herself, and that was my suggestion for her. Just because she spends a lot of time on her career, her job, working all evenings and weekends, and whilst that's great because it's her vocation, it's her love of her life, but it's very selfless. But she needs to, make sure she has time off to do some other things that she might enjoy. And of course she spends a lot of time for me and the kids as well. So some time to herself. Who else have we got here then? D-Bot's got none. She's not engaging with the whole resolution thing this year. I think you're probably just going to survive the year, aren't you, D? And who can blame you for that?
And I think Stu Plum might have some of Lindy Hop's as well, but he's also put walking as well.
Yeah, walking. Yeah, and brain training. I quite like that.
And he's recycling plastic bottles. Oh, and brain training, yeah.
Is that recycling the plastic bottles after you filled them with beer? Or is that,
and then using them again with more beer.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's the way to do it.
That's definitely good for the environment. He's getting a lot of uses out of those single-use bottles. Some have been going for years. Yeah. Yes. So, what about yourself, Mazamet Bob?
So, I'd say probably two of mine are directly from that list, which are New Year, New Diet, Journey to my Goal Weight. Sorry if you can hear Ludacris there. His alarm's just gone off, so he's now in a panic rush running out the door when he was halfway through a webinar. So.
I can hear it.
New Year, New Diet, Journey to Goal Weight. So, I mean, I don't know for sure. My hope is at the progress I was, at the rate of progress I was making last year, that I might get to my goal weight at some point during this year. So that would be super exciting. The other one that I have, which was the same as that list, is to start increasing my step count again. I very much let it go last year because, being stuck in the house and such. But even, in the years before that, even stepping about the house and doing things, I used to do crazy things like I'd have the groceries come and I would take them one item at a time to the kitchen. So I'd just be walking back and forth and back and forth. You'd be amazed, if you actually think about it and you're purposeful about it, how much walking you can do around your own house. But last year, I just kind of got totally out of the habit of doing that. So, and I'm starting realistically. I'm going to start at sort of 5,000 steps a day and then sort of increase it up to 10 and then stick at 10 for a while. And then if I get comfortable at that, I might start increasing again. But I want to keep it realistic, being that I am, a little bit housebound. I know we can go out for walks and what have you, but, there's a time element as well. So those two definitely align with the list there. My other ones are more reading, less streaming. So that's not exactly lifting my head from a screen because it's going from one screen to a different type of screen on my Kindle. But I got to a point a few years ago where I read like 72 books in a year. It was crazy. And then when you could suddenly download episodes on Netflix and Prime, it meant whenever I was traveling, instead of reading, I was watching episodes of stuff. And I've kind of really gotten out of the habit of using my Kindle and reading. So I want to get back into reading this year. Another one is learning French with friends. So there's actually a few of us that are learning French together. And I think that's a really good way to learn a language, is actually in a supportive environment where you can practice it on each other.
Oui.
So that's, yes, oui, bien sûr.
What?
Of course.
Oh.
Another one is decluttering. So store, sell, and recycle. So, and we've been doing quite well at that so far this year, myself and Luda. It's taken him a little while to get into it. He was happy with me decluttering my things, like a set of cups where there was one missing, and then like a teapot, an older Chinese teapot, because I've got a new glass one. He's like, yeah, get rid of that. Yeah, get rid of that. And then when I pulled out a plastic bowl that he picked up for free at SeaWorld that's been sat in the cupboard for 6 years, he didn't want to get rid of that. I eventually convinced him better, but he does like to hang on to stuff. But we're both getting into the swing of it now, and we're either putting stuff into storage if we just don't use it, but we want to keep it, or we're going to sort of give it away or recycle it if we can, or we might put it on eBay and try and sell it and make just a quid or two here and there. So we're doing quite well in that. And my final one is taking a bit more pride in my appearance this year, because last year I think I got a bit lazy with the whole not going to the office, not seeing people. Before, like for 3 years before, you would never have seen me without my nails done, for example. I mean, when I went traveling around the world in 2016, I was literally like halfway up a mountain in Peru, and I took my little mobile nail kit with me, and I always had my nails done, like all around the world for 3 months, never without my nails. And yet last year I'm in lockdown and I just stopped it. I stopped doing all of it. So I got really lazy with dyeing my hair. But I've got my nails done now. So I'm going to try and keep that up. And, I'm going to I've got like a bit of a skincare regime. I'm doing like a day cream and a night cream. And, it's just taking a bit better care of myself. Just because I'm not going out and seeing people doesn't mean I shouldn't take pride in the way I look. So that's my final one. And that's quite lockdown centric, I guess.
I think there's probably going to be a few New Year's resolutions out there about what people have been missing doing because of lockdown.
Yeah. And what about yours then?
Do you know, I've forgotten what they... I've said so many now. I was like, what was I choosing?
You've not written them down.
I've got 2.
How can you hold yourself to it if you haven't got them written down?
Oh yeah, I don't write things down. I've got 2. So the first one is I just want to make something better in the house every day. So if I see something that's not where it's supposed to be, or if the dishwasher needs putting away, or just basically when I go into a room, improve it in some way before I leave the room again.
Nice.
And on a daily basis, look around the house and think, have I improved things today? So I'm not going to make everything better in a week, but if I keep chipping away at it every day, then might be just that. Oh, I've got to paint a ceiling somewhere, or clean a drawer out, or I don't know. Just do one activity a day, just so I can think I've left the house in a bit of a better state than it was the day before.
Nice.
So that's the first
I
one.
like that.
Oh yes, and the second one is to cut down on the meat. So there's no chance of me going vegetarian or vegan, and not I can see in my lifetime. But I do want to reduce the amount of especially red meat that I eat. So I'm thinking, at least have 2 or 3 days a week where we just go vegetarian, and try the alternatives like bean chilies or things like that, which I don't mind too much.
Oh, do you know what? You've just said that. I remembered what I nearly said earlier before we started the show. You said you'd made a bean chili, and what I was going to say was, I've written down on my list of things to have the cowboy curry that G-Star introduced me to. And that involves beans and like kind of barbecue sauce and stuff. It's really nice. And I think you can chop up like a little bit of frankfurters if you want to have meat, but you could definitely have it without that. And I think there's sort of onions and carrots and stuff. And it's just really nice, like barbecue beans. You can have it on a jacket potato or with some rice, and it's super, super tasty. You make it in the slow cooker. I haven't had it for like a year or 2, but I'm definitely going to make a batch of that at some point in the next few weeks.
That's a good show. I haven't had that for a long time.
Yeah, you should get the recipe off him. Yeah. Oh, if you haven't got it already. It's well nice.
You probably have somewhere. But yeah, I used to love that. Oh, yeah. Good thought. Good thought. Yeah. Karen says never say never of going veggie, but you never know.
I mean, I mean, I'm the same. I love vegetables, and I love sort of lentils and pulses and things like that. What I don't like, I like meat replacement things. Like I don't want to eat like fake chicken or fake bacon or anything like that. But I don't mind having like chickpea curries and lentils and vegetables and all that sort of stuff. I think is great. And I definitely try and alternate between sort of meat days and non-meat days where I can. And even when I use meat, like I was thinking the other day, like the meatballs that I make. That's sort of 700 grams of meatballs that spreads between 8 or 9 portions, which a cooked weight is about 50 grams of meat per portion, which isn't a great deal of meat. If you're having like a slab of steak or something, you're going to be having 4 or 5 times that amount in one meal. So it's about maybe making little go further as well. So.
Stuplum said he's going to make sure his drawers are clean every day.
Yeah, the ones in the kitchen, maybe.
Yeah, TMI. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think you're right, and that's my resolutions that I came up with for me this year. I'm not making the dieting per se a resolution or healthy. I'm just going to try to do that anyway. But yeah, it's so I think it's good amount of resolutions there.
Yeah, and we can check back on in a couple weeks' time just to see who's been foiled by Quitter's Day.
Yeah. Yes. So that'll be a topic of conversation for the next podcast. We haven't actually discussed what we're going to be talking about in the next one, but we got 2 weeks to figure something out. And in between them, we're going to meet and drink some gin, which I'm very much looking forward to.
We're going to do that virtually, aren't we? We did a little gin box last year, which I'd highly recommend to anyone. So this is where you get a couple of different types of gin through the post every month, and they will never repeat them because they've got literally hundreds that they can source. And earlier on last year, so we met around March and had, the first couple of months worth. And then I think we met at some point, was it around your birthday or something? We had a couple more. Then we went back into November lockdown, and we basically didn't get through, I think, less than half of the year's worth. Right. And we've got a big stack of them. And it's not looking like we're going to be able to get together anytime soon. So we're going to do a virtual one. Yeah. We're going to get on Teams or on StreamYard or wherever, and have a little virtual gin tasting.
Maybe
session.
We could stream it. That'd be fun.
Could do. Yeah, maybe pick a Saturday, Mark. See who wants to sort of join us in some gin tasting.
I'm free this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm free. If anyone wants to join, let us know and we'll send you an invite.
Well, no, I'll tell you what, I'll put the link to the studio in the chat. So if anybody wants to come on and drink gin with us live on YouTube, you
can just be on the live stream.
You can come on the live stream with us.
That'd be awesome.
There you go. Saturday afternoon, join us for gin tasting.
What time? Tell them a time.
What should we say? 1, 2?
Yes, early. Yeah, that's fine with me.
3? I don't know. I'm free all day. I don't know. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, all right then. Let's say 3. 3 p.m.
Right, 3 p.m.
We'll do some gin tasting.
Yes.
Live.
Gin o'clock.
I know for a fact D-Bot's got loads of gins at home, so she might be up for it.
Cool. Yeah. You can always click on the link on your phones if you've got phones and things and you haven't got computers. You could pop on and say hello. Yeah, that'd be nice. Cool. All right then. Yeah. I think we covered all the things in chat. I don't think we missed anything.
I dropped my phone on the floor, so I haven't been checking.
Oh, did you? Tell Alex that. I don't know what that was about. Yes, Dee has lots of gin.
Yay. Join us for the
she's on call, so maybe she'll just have one or two.
Join us for one.
Yeah, join us for one. That'd be cool. Yes.
Wicked. Maybe Lindy Hop and Stew Plum might join as well. They're partial to the odd gin.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll see.
And that's a good way to start off 2021, isn't it? With a gin afternoon.
Bit of a fun social, live
Yeah.
broadcast, fun social.
Maybe
Nice.
I'll look up and see if I can find a game online to play or something like that. Some quiz thing. Or
I'm sure we
we'll
can.
do something. We'll do something with it while we're online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much, Maz, for joining me this evening.
My pleasure.
Probably be over on the main channel tomorrow evening playing Fortnite. If anybody wants to come and join us on a Fortnite stream tomorrow on Montalban channel, and we'll join you on Saturday for gins. And I think we got
next Thursday again for the next Wednesday for the next TNG review as well.
For the next TNG review, yes, we got The Last Outpost and Where No One Has Gone Before. Reviewed.
And we've got to remind Stu Plum on Sunday to watch them.
Yes. And then next Friday, I think we've got the Monty Zone. So it's all going really on the stream.
What a busy couple of weeks. Excellent.
Yeah, busy couple of weeks on the Montalban channels. So, yes. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, chat, for joining in with your New Year's resolutions. And we will see you, well, anytime you come to join us over the next few days. So, yes. Cheers, everyone.
Ta-ra!
See you later. Bye.